This week on the Kiss Army Things podcast, it's all for the love of not rock and roll. It's all for the love of Eric Singer. Welcome to the Kiss Army Things podcast. This is episode 97. You're with Xander
and Rob.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're watching this on the day it's uploaded, that means that it is Eric Singer's 66th birthday. So let's wish Eric Singer a very happy birthday. Woo! Eric Singer! Woo! Our favorite drummer. And there he is right there. He came to visit Rob in his Creatures outfit. That's pretty awesome. What a very rare appearance.
He said he wasn't going to move. So we'll see.
Oh, he's feeling stiff today, huh?
We'll see.
Yeah, a little stiff. There you go, for sure. Well, I tell you what, so everybody watching, you may have a little deja vu because last year, Rob and I did an Eric Singer celebration episode, a birthday celebration episode for his 65th, and we're back again this year to celebrate our favorite drummer and his birthday. So, Rob, thank you so much for joining me. How have you been, man? I feel like it's been a minute since you've been on the show. I think it's been almost, 10 episodes? It's crazy.
Probably, yeah. I've been watching Joey come in twice, which has been really cool. And like I've told you, like off mic, I've just been so behind in like the podcast game trying to get our stuff up and rolling. And then I just recorded my Kiss vinyl tag a month late, but I haven't watched anybody else's because I wanted to get mine out. And so
nice. Okay.
It's been a minute. So everybody, it's like, Rob, that was a month ago. Yeah, I know I'm late to the party, but things have been good. Things have been really good. So, yeah, I've got nothing other intelligent to say at this moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad that you're getting in on the vinyl tag, and it's never too late because when Rick did his merch tag, I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do that for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and I just got mine up too. So I think it's cool whenever people upload things later on, just because what's more fun than more Kiss.
And if you hear things fall, I have off to the side that you can't see all the merch stuff that I'm going to be filming for the for the collectibles tag. I was going to do them all in one video, but I thought, no, I'll break it up. But they're precariously stacked off to the side. So if you hear a thud, that's what that is.
For sure. And everybody stay tuned to the Right Between the Eyes YouTube channel because Rob's going to have some awesome videos for us. Today, we're going to be talking about Eric Singer. But Rob, what I think is funny is last year when we did this episode, that was when I dropped the news to you that we were going to be going to Rosemont and seeing Kiss in Rosemont with you, Nick, and Nico. And I thought that was crazy how it's been a year ago, which I think for the first time ever actually feels about right. Sometimes it's like, wait, what, a year already? Or it's like a year, it's like either too soon or, too late. But I feel like a year sounds about right. That like 1 year ago, I bought tickets to my last Kiss show ever. And
I'm just thinking like logistically for the wife and I, like, oh, we're going to do the show. It's in Rosemont. Like, can't you get one closer? And, like all that stuff. And then you dropped that bombshell. And I was like, oh, that is so awesome. Then we talked to Brant and it just kind of snowballed from there. But you're right. And sometimes, we say it at work all the time, I can't believe it's May already. And I can't believe it's Tuesday or whatever. But when you start saying like, can you believe that's last year? I think sometimes when you hit the year mark, you're like, was that really a year? I felt like it almost feels like that was a little bit longer ago that we saw our last Kiss show. But yeah, that's so crazy to think that a year ago that we were talking about, like, we haven't even started the road to Rosemont.
No,
none of that stuff. That is absolutely crazy.
Well, it's funny because you mentioned the road to Rosemont. So we actually predicted the road to Rosemont in that episode. We said, I fully expect, if we can make it happen, to do a combined episode somehow.
I mean, we've got a hotel in Chicago. Even if we went into a lobby of a show, set up a microphone and a camera and been like, boom.
And to think that, it actually happened, that we all got together in the lobby of a hotel after the show, 3 podcasts got together and had a one conjoined show. I kind of was thinking back to that and was just like, I can't believe that it actually happened. I'm glad that it did, but I was just thinking, wow, how crazy. I'm so glad that Brant decided to go to Rosemont because wasn't he going to go to Memphis or one of the ones that got Knoxville.
Yeah, Knoxville that was where he was originally going to go and opted last minute. He was telling me
Yeah.
not that long ago, he was in the queue, like, okay, I'm gonna buy it where, Ticketmaster's counting down. And he
Mm.
got out of the queue at 2 minutes and was like, what am I doing? I had to go to Rosemont where everybody else is. So for him to go all that way and then to find out that that show would have been canceled for him.
Oh man, I'm really glad that he decided to go
Yeah.
to the one in Rosemont as opposed to
Yeah.
Knoxville because I would have felt really bad. But no, I just couldn't believe that that was the episode when we dropped the news that we were going to Rosemont. So let's get into a quick spotlight because we always start out talking about the Kiss spotlight. Did you come with the spotlight? Do you have any thing to spotlight as far as Kiss or Eric Singer related?
Other than I watched an Alice Cooper, which I've got the Brutal Planet vinyl behind me. I watched his
Mm,
Brutal Planet 2011 drums 2011. 2011, 2001
okay.
drum solo. It's out on DVD. You can see that out there. He's playing this clear acrylic kit, and he had just cut his hair, so his hair is like really kind of short and spiky. And then I kind of went down like an Alice Cooper rabbit hole. So I've got a couple albums in the back. I'll spotlight Brutal Planet. If you're a
Okay.
Bon Jovi fan at all, Phil X plays lead guitar on a couple tracks on that. So it's a really good album if you want to kind of like branch off and, I know it's a Kiss spotlight, but to hear some other Eric Singer things, I can't recommend the Brutal Planet album enough. It's really heavy. It's borderline like industrial a little bit and just the way the guitars are. But there's a song called Pessimistic on there. It's just
Mm,
this kind of real slow melodic song. And at the tail end
okay.
of the song, Eric just goes absolutely bananas on the track. It
Oh.
it is it is really cool. And he's doing some weird like time signature stuff where the beat's kind of going like this and he's snaking in and out with some tasty double bass stuff. So that would be my spotlight is Alice Cooper's Brutal Planet. So I started just watching a drum solo today at work, and then on the way home I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to put in Brutal Planet. So that'll be my spotlight.
I love that. Now, I have actually not heard or seen the whole thing of Brutal Planet, so I may need to check out the song. You said Pessimistic?
Pessimistic, yeah.
I'll have to check that out. But I have seen that drum solo. Is that the one where he's in like the mesh shirt, the sleeveless shirt, and he's playing the acrylic kit, and he has
And
the
he
flaming drumsticks?
flaming, yep, yep,
Yep.
yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think somebody at the end, while he's finishing off his flaming drumstick routine, you hear somebody yell, "Get a fucking day job!"
Yeah, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's it. That's the one. That's the one.
I thought that was like so funny, but also like kind of like disrespectful. But I thought it was funny because you see him, he hears it, he acknowledges it, and he's like, "All right, there you go,"
All right.
and then blows his drumstick out. And I thought
Yeah.
that was just really funny. But yeah, I'll have to check out the full. You said it's on DVD.
Yeah.
Sweet, I'll have to check that out. Mine is also Eric Singer related, not Kiss. It's because again,
Ooh,
it's an Eric Singer episode. And I believe you gave me the tip on this, and that is the ESP record I have
that's such
right
a good
here.
album.
Yes, it is. And so I only made it through side A prior to recording this. So
Mhm.
I'll need to go back and listen to the rest. But I did want to bring this out and show this because obviously, yes, it is Eric Singer's birthday. And I only got this within the last couple of years. I mean, when did this originally come out? 99?
Yeah, I think it came out in 99. The original CD came out in 98. And then the vinyl might be a little bit newer. It may
A
be
little
in
bit.
the 2000s, I think, is when they finally did that because the album has 3 different versions of it. And I've got, if I can pull it out without
Yeah, go for it.
camera. So this is the original version of the ESP album, and it's signed by John Corabi, Bruce Kulick, Eric Singer, and Carl Cochran is somewhere. He's up here at the top. So this is what originally looked like. You can find this one on eBay for about $1,000.
Oh, he's flexing on me, guys. He's flexing on me on my own show.
Sorry, I don't need to do that.
He one up me. I brought this. He's like, no. This is the original, and it's $1,000. Sit down.
And the other piece behind this, that Ace Frehley plays lead guitar track on Foxy
Foxy
Lady
Lady.
because Ace took a smoke break or drink break or whatever from Psycho Circus, went, I think they said it down the hall or wherever Eric was doing this, and Ace played on the track.
That is so awesome. Yeah, I actually did not know that Ace appeared on this when I first bought it, so that was kind of cool. That was a wonderful surprise. Now, I got to say that I think right now my favorite is the cover of Free Ride. Track number 3, Free Ride.
That's cool.
That song, I mean, it's a good song. It's a great song, but it's an overlooked song. I wouldn't say the song is underrated. I think the song is overlooked because it's one of those songs that you just hear on classic rock radio all the time,
Mhm.
and you kind of like I can't drive 55 or the Eagles, Taking It Easy. You know, those
Yeah.
are all really good songs, but you hear them so much that you kind of just not like forget about them, but you don't really give them the respect or honor that they might deserve because it's just like, yeah, it's one of those classics. But Free Ride is a really good song, and this version really stands out. So
That
it looks like
rips.
that. It's basically, this to me is just like an homage to all of their favorite artists and all of their
Yep.
favorite musicians, including Kiss, which they chose Going Blind. Of all
Yeah.
Kiss songs, they chose Going Blind.
Yeah.
But it's still really cool. This one in particular, limited to 500 copies. And I forgot this part. So obviously I wanted to listen to this. I was very excited. And I forgot that this version in particular is the clear version, the translucent vinyl.
I'd have to take my headphones off because it's just over there. Did I tell you about my version of the clear that I have an error?
I think you mentioned it, but if you want to, go ahead and grab it. This would be a
Okay.
good time to mention that.
Way to be prepared, podcaster Rob. So I have the clear as well. So let me pull this out, which I should have done. I almost had this out. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna pull it out. So let me show you side 2.
Side 2. Side 2. Oh, you have two side 2 labels.
Two
Oh,
side 2 labels.
wow.
So
That's hilarious.
I need to go back to your video because I think when I flipped it, so this side 2 is actually side 1. So when I put it in, I'm like, which version is the correct side 2? So one of my favorite tracks off this is "Set Me Free." Just that fast double bass work that Eric's doing, and that's a lead vocal by him. And then I do have the other version of this, and it's the green.
Oh, wow.
Version.
There you go.
And
Nice.
it is correct. Side 1, side.
There you go, for
side
sure.
1, side 2.
Yeah, wasn't this one yeah, this one I think was a 2018 re-release.
Yes.
The clear vinyl. It even says Hard Rock or Rock Hard Records, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that? It says executive producers Keith LaRoe. I like that.
Yep.
How did I know that? Sweet. Well, there you go. There's my spotlight. I wanted to bring that out. So let's just go ahead and continue on with the Eric Singer fun, because Rob and I came up with some really cool Eric Singer topics, Eric Singer questions to talk about, and you guys, of course, need to follow along with us in the comments. Even if Eric isn't your favorite Kiss drummer, we can all respect his talent. We can all respect Eric Singer and celebrate Eric Singer. So please follow along in the comments with your thoughts. So you were talking about how you were going down the rabbit hole of you started out watching an Eric Singer drum solo. So I want to ask you this: out of all the drum solos, out of all the tours that Eric has done with Kiss, is there a drum solo that is just your favorite, the one that you just absolutely always go to?
It sounds cliche, but only because I saw it in person in '92, the Revenge.
Okay.
Solo. Seeing those lasers and getting to actually see him do the fast cymbal catches where you hit it really quick and you kind of let your stick and your finger go up and catch it. That's a hard thing to do, to get it precise without slicing your finger all to
I would all bleed. Yeah, I would bleed doing that as a kid.
But then to just be able to get it in time where it's going and then to be able to slow it down. And so I'm a little out of practice. I was kind of good for a while, but in the setting I'm playing in now, cymbal catches just don't work really well in the church. Really?
Yeah, for sure. No reason to do some cymbal catches.
But that was cool. It was my first time seeing Kiss live and getting to see who would instantly become my favorite drummer of all time. And I was just mesmerized just by his bass drum was just it's always been on every tour that I've seen him on, is so heavy and thick and just that just will burn in my brain. I can watch the Kissology DVD, and
Oh,
in my mind, I'm just transported back to Toledo, Ohio, Savage Hall, November 22nd, and I can witness uh, that in my mind. So that's just always seared. There's been plenty. He had going back to Alice Cooper. He had a really cool drum solo in 2002 where Chuck Garrick, the bass player, and I forget who else, where they were doing like a trio drum solo with
yes.
Eric, where he had headphones on, so Eric's playing in time, and that was really kind of cool to see Eric play with other people, other kind of drummers, where Eric's like, okay, you're going to play this, and I'm going to play over top of that. So those would be the two. Like, I think it's the hardest thing for when you ask a Kiss fan, pick your favorite, and we'll always
Oh,
go,
yeah,
okay, well, here's A, here's B, and here's A through J too. So
exactly.
those two. To pick something different, I would probably go to the Alice Cooper one that you can find that pretty easy on YouTube as well. But
You mentioned that Kissology Volume 3 DVD. Now, that show on there, November 27th, that's just 5 days after the one you would have saw
yeah, and they had
in
I
Toledo.
know it was probably obviously planned. They just didn't show up to Detroit and said, "Hey, we're going to do this." But back in the days before the internet, it was like Metal Edge and different magazines. That was the first time I heard, "Hey, we're going to do a live 3." And I felt like, wow,
Oh,
that they said that from the stage, and we're going to try out some things here in Toledo. So they were, you know,
oh,
it
that's
was
really
it was just
cool.
really kind of cool to like witness that. Regardless if the set was exactly the same all the way through, you could tell that they were moving and running around quite a bit. So watching that DVD, going, oh yeah, all those moves look familiar. Probably all choreographed, and that's just what they do at every song. But back then, going home and then reading like, oh, they recorded a live 3. I'm like, oh, we already knew that.
So they were so Paul was like announcing Kiss Alive 3 before they were
Yeah.
even recording it,
Before
before it was.
yep.
Wow. See, now that I did not know. Thank you for that. Now, when you saw Eric Singer that night playing, for the first time live, had you already seen it? I mean, I know it's hard because of, again, there's no YouTube, but were you aware of anything that he was doing that night, or were you seeing it for the first time going, oh, the lasers, oh, the cymbal catches, like this is all for the first time? Or were you seeing it going, oh, he's doing the thing? Because obviously this is all brand new. So how much did you actually know?
As far as the Kiss show or him playing.
The Kiss show
The
specifically.
the Kiss show, not really, only just from stills because,
Okay.
the I Love It Loud video wouldn't be out till, they're actually promoting, a live 3. So, I remember when the album was released, they were at the Troubadour, doing when they were doing the club shows.
Hmm.
So you weren't getting the staging of the lights and all that stuff. It was, a club show, so there was no Statue of Liberty, no nothing like that. But getting to see how the band moved and interacted. So seeing Gene kick his leg up for Deuce, like that he does, I was like, oh, I'd seen that. I did
Okay.
see an MTV footage of Paul and Eric sitting on the steps in front of the drums where you could see the staging. Like, it was hard to tell what it was, and they kept mentioning the Statue of Liberty, but you never saw it. So I was like, oh, that's kind of
Mm.
cool. So I'm in that weird spot of reading about the tour, but again, without YouTube, without the internet, and if I didn't catch MTV at the right time. I know there was footage of the Revenge tour, like of the opening night. I think they played like the first 2 or 3 songs or whatever, but I never saw that till after I had seen my show.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I wanted to know because, yeah, like you said, without the internet, it's kind of hard to. But we've talked a little bit about, your first Kiss show and seeing Eric, but I wanted to just pry a little more into that. So thank you for that. Have you ever heard anything from Eric's first show with Kiss, April 23rd, 92?
Yeah, I have a bootleg of that.
You have the
Yeah.
bootleg.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, for sure. Well, I've only heard the bootleg, so and that was one thing I was actually listening to before this. Before this, I was doing also drum solos and listening to that live bootleg. So anyway, I guess I should probably talk about my favorite Eric Singer drum solo
Please.
because I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but my favorite has always ever since the moment I saw it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it because it's gonna happen at some point. The drum solo on this DVD right here. at the very end, that studio drum solo. So I was
I
really
love that.
hoping.
I
I
love that.
know. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely phenomenal. I was really hoping at the end of this he was gonna, unleash. And as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old watching this, my jaw hit the floor because
Mhm,
obviously he was gonna, talk about or do everything he talked about in the video and
mhm.
apply it into one drum solo and just show how masterful he was. And so this is always something that I can go back and watch. And yes, that isn't a real autograph. I wish it wasn't fading, but it is what it is. But this is the 2006 DVD release, and I know you have the original. Oh, I have a VHS too as well. But
Yeah, my VH now, normally, let me take my headphones, like, I'm gonna have to maneuver, so trust me, it's the VHS is back there. I have all 3 versions
oh yeah,
of that DVD. I even had a sad thing, and not to derail from yours, but
no, you're good.
that intro to there's an intro to Pearl drums. When you bought it, you get the kit, and I remember I told you that the label was
This.
peeling off. No, it's a
Oh, that yes, yes,
yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
So I couldn't even play it, so I haven't bit the bullet to get that. Now it is that video that you just held up, and there's another one on there as well.
Okay, gotcha
So
for sure.
it was
Yeah,
the DVD version of that. But yeah, I was just like half crying looking at this DVD just disintegrate, and I'm like, I can't. It will not play. Will not play.
I remember you saying that, and it was a whole ordeal. I felt so bad, but no, I do remember that. But yeah, so this solo again, always been my favorite. He starts out, you can tell he's doing like a little promotion for Pearl or Zildjian cymbals
Yeah.
because he hits every single cymbal in every single possible way, and then switches to using mallets on the kit. But I must say, the mallets on the kit was really cool. Just the soft, kind of soft drumming, some
Mhm.
fills, and then he adds the double bass. And as soon as you hear the ba-ba-doom, he turns that snare on with the double kick, and it's about to get real. And
Mhm.
as soon as he starts, man, he does not stop. I mean, you got machine gun double bass. He's doing all of his little, all of his crazy moves. And there was one fill in particular, I think I must have rewound it like 6 or 7 times because I was just mesmerized by this one part. And even today, I'm 29 and I've seen it a million times and I'll watch it a million more because
Mhm.
of how just perfection it is. Now, I did want to mention this because I think this is truly underrated, and it's not just an Eric Singer solo, but it's the Tommy and Eric solo that they used to play back on the
Mm.
hottest show on earth. Remember
Yep.
that? Did you ever get to see that live?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, we got to see that in Indianapolis, and I
Is
had
that the
only
bazooka launch from him
yes,
too? Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah, he did the bazooka bit at the end, which was fantastic. But yeah, they only did that for I think the Sonic Boom Over Europe tour and maybe the tour. But I thought that was one of the most special parts of the show. Obviously, it gives Gina Paul some time to kind of wind down, take a break, and get the sweat off and get some water. But to have just Tommy and Eric take the stage by themselves, I think Bruce and Eric Carr did something very similar
Yes.
in the 80s where they would have their own little jam and then it would go into like what no no no
No,
or
no,
something like
no.
that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and that was super cool. I love watching those videos because it gives the drummer and the guitar player just a moment for them to shine. And I would like to know more about the Tommy and Eric solo, how it was crafted. I don't know if I've ever heard them speak on it because it
Mm-mm.
sounds like it was just a jam that they either came up with or it's like an amalgamation of all their favorite music pieces because there's something very familiar about it, but
I
yet
Yeah,
new and fresh. And that's what I love about it is that perfect mesh of old and new.
yeah. I can't quite put my finger on it, or it's just written. I'd almost like to believe that it was just something that Tommy came up, and maybe Paul and Gene were like, rather than you do a solo and you do a solo, you guys come up with something. So it sounds very organic, but you can sing those licks that
Oh
Tommy's
yeah.
playing, and they're both calling, responding back and forth to one another. That's a really cool, and that's a solo I don't always remember off the top of my head because I'm thinking, oh, it's a little tandem piece. But when you sit back and listen to it, I go, it almost sounds like there was a making of a song or something in there that I was like, maybe that'll end up on the next Kiss album. And I remember listening to Monster going, am I hearing any bits and pieces
Yeah,
of that
exactly.
solo? Yeah.
No, I think you're onto something there. I wonder if it was going to be, because I would like to have that be an instrumental on the hypothetical, third Kiss album from the Tommy and Eric lineup, because other than Escape from the Island and Love Thief from Kiss, there are really no instrumentals in the whole Kiss catalog.
If you count the outro that would have been on, well, it's on the box set. That's the coda, the ending of
Oh, Let Me Know.
no, not Let Me Know, from Carnival of Souls, Childhood's End. You get that dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun, that thing. That was originally supposed to be after the fade out of I Walk Alone, and it got left off of Carnival of Souls somehow.
wow.
That it was actually the fade out of Childhood's End. So on the 2001 box set, they resurrected that. So technically, it's not an instrumental anymore. It's considered part of Childhood's End, but it's listed as the outro
Hmm.
as its
Wow.
official title.
For sure. Cool. That I actually did not know that. That's pretty awesome. Thank you for that little piece of info there. There you guys go. Like and subscribe, because Rob is dropping some hard knowledge for us right now.
Boop. That'll be about it tonight.
For sure. That's awesome, man. So where were we? Were we talking about drum solos? Yes, the
Drum
Tommy
solo.
and Eric solo. Yes, I do wish that something else had been done with that, just because of how special. You're right. You can sing those licks. There's a part where Eric Singer just starts ripping through. There's about two sections where his fills and his drumming is just absolutely out of this world. And again, I saw it live twice. And the first time I had no idea it was coming. I did see it when they did it in the over on Sonic Boom over Europe tour, but I didn't think it was going to carry over to the States. So
Yeah.
that was a nice surprise. But then to hear it still being played on the tour, and you're like, now I know it's coming. I can actually get into it and headbang, and that was really cool. But yeah, it never did end up anywhere else. But I wanted to at least bring it up here again. Kiss Army, let me know what you guys think, because every time I watch clips of it live, the crowd seems to love it. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, Tommy and Eric, a solo, whatever. It's their spot, and then okay, you start getting into it, and it sounds really good. And again, you start like headbanging to it, getting into it. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that. But so when did you find out that Eric Singer was going to be the Catman officially? Because I didn't find out until way later, and I'll talk about mine in a minute. But I want to know, how did you first find out that Eric Singer was going to take over for Peter Criss as the Catman in Kiss for the farewell tour?
Ironically enough, I had been watching MTV and I had shut it off, and my best friend had called and said, "Are you watching MTV right now?" And I said, I literally just shut it off, turned it back on, and there was a news blurb of Eric coming back. And I was like,
Oh, that's awesome.
what? So I caught the tail end of it, and he's like, well, I've put a videotape in so you could see it. So he missed like the very intro part of the news story or whatever. But he back in the days before internet and phones, he held like the phone to the TV so I could hear. And I had turned the TV on, and all I caught was, Kiss is going to Japan, starting at, whatever month that was. So I was like, okay, well, this is real. And I could hear through the phone. I'm like, that is unbelievable. So I was almost kind of really hearing it live, save, 15, 20 minutes.
That's cool.
Or whatever. So that's how I heard about it.
That's a much better story than mine. You found out about it pretty quick, because again, I was wondering how you found out, because this is like right on the cusp of like the internet exists. It's a thing. You can go on it. Like online shopping is just now becoming a thing, but nobody really, you have to go to the library to use the internet. They have maybe internet in schools now, but that's about it.
And that's what I was doing. I remember going to Kiss Online, going to the library and refreshing. Like I wanted to see the page updated. Like what's he going to look like? And that was just, I think the announcement did say that he was going to be the Catman. Yeah, I think that's what it said. I was like, okay, there's got to be an official photo. There's going to be merchandise. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. And there wasn't a whole lot, but I remember being looking at KOL the day that his image was there going, that just looks so stinking cool, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's a much better story than I did because we did not find out officially until years later. It's kind of funny. I
Whoa.
actually saw Eric Singer as the Catman before I even knew that Eric
Mm.
Singer was the Catman, if you can believe that. So here's how that works. It's kind of funny because, again, that 2000, 2001, 02, 03, you've got Ace and Peter in the band, and then you've got Peter and, or, you got Eric and Ace, and then you got Peter and Tommy, and then it's Eric and Tommy, and then it's just all over the place. So you never know who's in the band. I'm like 6 years old, can't even keep track. But when Kiss was on American Bandstand
Mhm.
in '02 for the Dick Clark 50th anniversary, so we were under the impression that the farewell tour was over, and it pretty much was. They were only doing these random appearances, so it was pretty much all but over. But when we heard that Kiss was going to be playing live on Dick Clark, we were like, we're doing nothing else but sitting in front of this TV until Kiss plays. And again, this is the days, before the internet, before DVR, you can't rewind. It's live TV. If you miss it, it's done.
Mhm.
But we sat there and we watched it and we watched it and we weren't sure. We thought Kiss was going to play either a whole concert or a bunch of shows or a bunch of songs. They just played one song. It was Detroit Rock City, and that was it. So it's like 3.5 minutes and then it's over. And so we were like soaking up every minute, every second, and we start looking, and it's like, okay, well, that's definitely the Catman and the Spaceman, but is that Peter Criss and Ace Frehley? Because we had just seen that East Rutherford show from New Jersey, the farewell tour, and we could tell what Peter and Ace looked like then, but this was not them. All the there were no close-ups. It was mostly just Gene and Paul, and then the group shots were usually wide shots, and so we're kind of like, scratching our heads, but also not really caring too much because how can you? Kiss is on TV, and it's going to be over, and before you know it, so enjoy it. And of course, the next year we saw Kiss live, and it was with Peter and Tommy, so we kind of just forgot about it. It wasn't until the VH1 Rock Honors in 2006 that's when Jeb and I found out. We were watching it live, and we knew Tommy was in the band. He wasn't even the new guy to us anymore. We had heard him on, Kiss Alive 4. We saw him live, but who's this behind the kit? Because that is not Peter Criss. And by then, I had started playing drums. I started learning drums. I knew more about the individual three, and I could tell, oh my gosh, they have Eric Singer back in the band. It's Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer. This is the new Kiss. There is no farewell. I didn't know about Rock the Nation either, so that would have been a dead giveaway. But again, we had no clue about Rock the Nation. So '06 was when we officially knew
Wow.
that Eric was in the band, and then Alive 35 came around. And so it's kind of sad actually when I think back about it. But there's
Oh,
also some
wow.
novelty to it because people think Jeb and I, we just grew up with cell phones when we were born. It's like, no, this was 90s, 2000s. We had none of that. So,
S so did
yeah,
you get to see that '70s show, promo video
not
with
when it
Tommy
came
and
out.
Eric?
Not when it
Oh,
came out.
wow.
We loved that '70s show, and we watched almost every episode because I didn't find out about that until probably '08.
Okay.
Right around then because it was one of those things that if you didn't see it, you missed it, and it wasn't like they were going to rerun that like they were the rest of the episodes. It was a one-time special. So,
Yep.
no, I actually was really surprised when I found out about that. I was like, "Holy crap!" I almost didn't believe it. I thought it was fake. I thought it was some video somebody had done where they took the song and then took clips of Kiss playing live and then clips from the show and made their own fan music video.
Oh,
But when I actually started like watching it and paying attention, it was clear that it was a real production. They had all the characters from the show, so I still watch that and go back and I watched it about 2 weeks ago actually because I don't know if it was the anniversary of it or what it was, but something prompted me to watch that, and I can't believe I missed it back then. But that show is so awesome. I still love that '70s show.
same, same.
It's one of the best shows ever. So Rob, you had a nice topic that you wanted to bring up. What was the one topic that you had?
Well, the topic that I had, we're always talking about Eric and his playing. A big focal point for any band is the drum kit. Yeah, you've got the wall of amps, but it's always seeing that drum kit for me. I don't care what band it is. I want to see what the drum kit. What's the drummer playing? And you can't help, regardless if you're a drummer or not. It's one of the largest pieces of any stage, regardless of
True.
how big it is. So I wrote down all of Eric's primary kits from 1992 till obviously 2023.
Wow.
So, I mean, I could rattle them all off, but without having pictures, it might be kind of hard to visualize. His first kit was a candy apple red kit during the club tour. He was using it with Alice Cooper, and then kind of brought that into Kiss and changed just a couple little things. He used to have a 10-inch splash right in between the two toms. That would be on the He had that for most of his career, and then when he gets to the Revenge tour, he moves that splash out of the way.
Mm.
So that's kind of cool. And if you watch the club shows, you'll see that 10-inch splash right in the middle of the two front toms.
Was that red drum kit the same kit that he used on Paul's solo tour as well?
He was using an all white kit on that tour.
Yeah, but on the West Coast, it was a red kit.
Oh yes, yeah, he had red on the West Coast. I forgot they had the East and West Coast. So white on one side and red on the other. Yeah,
Was it the same red kit? Do you know?
same exact red kit.
That's
That
awesome.
was his standard kit for quite a while. He'd use it in Badlands. Badlands was blue, then he switched to red. Alice Cooper was red, and then he had the two. Because I think no, not during that time, because he wasn't in Kiss during Paul's solo tour. So forget what I was gonna say there. Then we had the big mirror ball kit for the Revenge tour. Then you would get to the Kiss My Ass tour, was a silver sparkle kit. Going to the 2000 the farewell tour, he's got a silver sparkle kit, but this is a Masters line of a kit, so it's not that same drum. So Paul always said we made Eric scale down his kit. That's actually one of the largest kits that Eric has ever played. It's just missing one bass drum, but there are more toms on that kit. So Paul's idea of scaling down was pulling away a bass drum, but he's got drums all over the place, more cymbals. So I really like that kit.
For sure.
Then where am I at? We have the Rock the Nation, the black chrome kit, the not Sonic Boom. Yes, the Sonic Boom kit is the smoky chrome clear kit. And then the Monster kit is a little smaller mirror ball, but the cool thing about that kit, he's got the long rocket toms that are far off to his left-hand side that you don't, in the right shot, you can kind of see these long tube drums. Then the clear acrylic kit from the Las Vegas show. And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kits that would span the End of the Road tour. Now there's six kits. You've got the mirror ball concert tom that's missing the bottom drum heads on all of them. Then he decided to put the heads on them. And then the black, matte black finish that you and I saw in Dayton, that was a Kiss Cruise kit. The black chrome kit, that's the Tip the Hat to Neil Peart, which would get lost because of the gold kit being left in Australia. And then the chrome crocodile kit was somewhere in the middle there. Yeah. So those are all of his big primary kits there. And there's some other ones here or there through the Kiss cruise. Like when they did the Creatures of the Night, he had like an Eric Carr looking kind of set of drums, all pearl, which is why I'm wearing a pearl shirt. It's the brand I play, it's Zildjian. So yeah, Eric's really influenced my playing. I thought this would be kind of cool, that going to the show going, oh, that's one of my favorite kits. That's one of my favorite kits. So yeah, we're still talking about Eric, but I remember going a couple kits going, man, if I just had the money, and it was up for the Kiss auction. Like, you got to go through the Kiss warehouse and you can buy one of Eric's kits. There's 3 on my list that I want to try and get a hold of that I will never be able to afford.
For sure. Which one out of all the ones is like, do you have like an absolute favorite?
Yes, I do.
Which one is that?
It is his first kit with Kiss, that candy apple red.
That red one?
That red one.
Nice.
They called them power toms. The toms were a lot deeper, so he had to kind of tilt them a little bit. Then Pearl, in their infinite wisdom, went, we can make these toms a little bit shorter so they can get up over the kick drums a little bit. But just that bright red kit just looked so cool under the stage lights. I wish I could have seen it live, but looking at those club shows, that red drum kit just sticks out amongst all of the black that's on stage. So cool. So that's my all-time favorite Eric Singer kit.
One of the kits I forgot, and you mentioned it, was the kit that he started out with on the End of the Road tour, which was the pearl kit with the concert toms,
Mm-hmm.
no heads on the bottom. And you and I had the pleasure of interviewing Billy Baker together, which everybody, again, go check out Rob's channel, Right Between the Eyes, because he and I interviewed Billy Baker, the guy who made Eric's kits for the entirety of the End of the Road tour. And he dropped some awesome insight into some of the little subtleties and references to classic Kiss, to Peter Criss.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, one being the concert toms in general, but I can't remember what were some of the other references. Can you think of some of the other like Peter Criss references?
The
And
other
subtleties?
ones were getting the mirror the exact size that was on Peter's kit. And I've got the measurements written somewhere. I should have brought it. But Eric has had different, mirror sizes throughout, not knowing what they were. And Billy was like, oh, this is the mirror size. So Eric's like, okay, we're going to do that, make those mirror whatever those sizes were. So they would definitely reflect or call back to
Mm,
Peter's original mirror ball kit. His throne for a while was that uh, throne canister. If it doesn't have legs, that the lid would open up and you could put sticks and all kinds of stuff. So that's what Peter played. And Eric's like, okay, I want to do the same thing on this kit. So Eric's kit very much calls back to Peter Criss's mirror ball kit, and then just other little things of the eyelets that are separating the washers.
mm-hmm.
Eric wanted all those green. So you can't see it with the naked eye, but if you're up on the kit where this is black here, there's a little green. All the felts on the cymbals, those were all green. Like that's the color of the Catman. So he had all these little things put in through the kit. So that,
I love that.
yeah.
That is awesome. See, and yeah, I'm glad that Billy said that, because again, you're right. You can't. I would have never known about the green accents or anything like that. Even the mirror ball size, from a distance, from 20th row or 100th row, mirror ball's mirror ball. But
Right.
but Eric knows. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's going out of his way to do that and to actually get it custom made, I think just goes to show how much he loves Peter Criss and respects that original Kiss era. So for anybody out there who didn't know that, I thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about some of my favorite Eric Singer kits, and I actually got to do some research because one thing I realized in that interview with you and Billy Baker is that I know nothing when it comes to drum tech and drum talk and all the specs and things like that. But I know what I can call to memory, and so I was able to do some research and found some cool information. But one of the first kits I remember just being like, like this, just wide-eyed, jaw hit the floor, little drool coming down the side, was in '09 when he started using, and you mentioned it, it was the Smoke acrylic kit, which was, yeah, he's got it right there. And when that picture and then a few other ones from around that time, Sonic Boom '09, around October, when I saw that kit, I was just like, oh, that is sexy. That is beautiful. That one, and I think he used that one from '09, 2010, and then in 2011 switched to a blue satin flame kit and used that in like Florida and some shows in 2011. And that one, if you get it in some good lighting, just absolutely looks beautiful. And so I'll be honest though, compared to some of the ones that Eric's had on like the End of the Road tour and some of these more recent tours, they don't hold a candle. But I can think back to being in high school, getting online and looking at the latest, Kiss tour and the latest Kiss photos, and looking at Eric's kit going, oh my gosh. First of all, he was using double bass again,
Yeah.
because Alive 35 was still single bass, of course, Rock the Nation, and, before that, but it was like Sonic Boom tour. He was using double bass kits again. And that was really exciting.
I have a photo from when he was more active, or his handler was more active on his Eric Singer page. He had posted an image of his Rock the Nation kit. It wasn't put together, but he had all the drums lined up. I've got a picture. Off to send it to you. And the picture is showing two bass drums in the photo. So that kit
Really?
was originally going to have two bass drums, and then opted to still stick with I don't know if that was a Paul and Gene thing, like just stick with one bass drum type of a deal, or Eric decided nah, I'm only going to do one. But yeah, that photo, I remember thinking, oh, he's going back to double bass. So when I went to the Rock the Nation show, I was like, wait, he's back to one bass drum again. It didn't matter after a while. After he started playing, I was like, I don't care. He's got double
Yeah.
pedal. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Wow. No, I didn't know that. So there's a picture from '04.
Oh, 04,
With
yeah.
man,
Leading.
if you can find that, you might send it to me. I don't think I've ever seen that either.
Yeah, I will definitely send it to you.
Sweet. That's awesome. Well, I tell you what, is it time to show some Eric Singer merch? Did you bring anything to show today? As far as Eric Singer merch, I see something behind you. What's that?
Oh, I don't know. This little
That little thing right there.
So I know I've showed this for a while. I'm probably too far away. There's, the sticks.
Ooh, yeah, show those too when you get a chance.
So these were my Rosemont sticks. This is my 2002 Eric Singer signature snare. There's my COVID little. I don't know if you could see this. A friend of mine 3D printed this. See the cat face?
Nice.
So it was really uncomfortable to wear. You have your COVID mask, and this is behind your head,
right,
holding the cloth or whatever.
Wow.
But, so I think I've showed this here on your channel before. So I bought this in 2002 when it came out, and I took it to the Cleveland Kiss Expo on February 10th, 2007, which happened to be my birthday, in hopes that Eric would sign this. So not only did he sign it, but he led the expo in singing "Happy Birthday" to me. So how cool is that? But on the inside, you can see where it says,
"Wow,
Cleveland Kiss Expo." So of all of the things that I have in my collection, you can see what I can't see what number this is. This is production number 202.
202.
202.
Dude, that's so sweet, man.
And then for the end of the road, he started having his own signature head there.
The
batter head, and then it's on the top. Where's the signature? There it is.
There it is.
So if you have any of Eric's signature Billy Baker made snares, it has these heads on it as well.
So you bought the heads afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. What heads were on it originally? Do you have those, or do you know what the heads were originally?
Those are upstairs. They were Remo, whatever the stock
heads,
just stock heads, and they were. Being that that's a master's line, it was the top of the Remo line, so they were really good heads. I used them. That was actually my main snare for a very long time. I just retired it, 4 or 5 years ago. Going okay. I was playing out in bars and clubs and always going, one of these days something's going to happen to that drum. And I just got to a point where, I was playing it in churches and the drum is just so incredibly loud. I'm like, all right, I need a quieter drum because my grandma on the back's going, that drum's really loud.
Just snare crack. Cracking like lightning. That's awesome. Well, I don't have an Eric Singer drum, but I definitely showed this on the last time too, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it again because this is one of the most special pieces in my collection. And again, I was just listening to the Tommy and Eric solo from this night, so he was playing the Tommy and Eric solo on this drum August night 2010 at the Indianapolis State Fair. Literally the hottest show on earth. I think it was like 110 degrees with the heat index, and we were way up top in the very back with an obstructed view. All we could see was KSS, and the eye was cut off by a big old pole. But that didn't stop us from having the time of our lives. And I was able to acquire this about 4 or 5 years later from Kiss Army Warehouse. And I don't know who has the rest of the kit, but I would love to at some point get a hold of the rest of this kit because I had no idea they were selling these Kiss Army Warehouse. So I was able to get this one and one from the Rock Am Ring show, which I was also watching the drum solo from that show where he uses the bazooka. That one's a top-notch drum solo as well. So that one's all the way over there, but I saw this one for sure. So I wanted to go ahead and show that for the umpteenth millionth time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely a highlight in my collection. Now, you showed a couple pairs of sticks. I wanted to show mine as well. This is a pair from London 2012. Now, he did not use it. They're not stage played, but these were the ones that would have been sitting in his drum bag. And these were sold in 2013 Expo, I think 2014, I something like that. I kind of forget at this point. But they are from London 2012, and this was when Hell or Hallelujah was played live for the first time. Again, these aren't those exact sticks, but it's from that weekend. And so, yeah, I wanted to show those. Love the finish on those. I'm afraid to get it too close because then it won't focus back on me in a minute. But
I did
yeah.
that with the drum, and I saw my frame wash out, and I was like, "Crap!" So then I'm like, "Okay, let me get the glare right." So I'm glad it came back on.
Yeah. When I was there's been a couple episodes here recently where it's done that, and I'm like, oh come on, just refocus, please. But here's a pair from 2015. These are from the 40th anniversary tour, and I like these because they're blue. Again, I'm going to risk getting out of focus. I'm trying to find out where the glare is. But yeah, a nice blue finish to them, very unique for Eric Singer. Usually it's either gold or just green or whatever, but these are blue, and I bought these from his table in 2015 at the Indie Expo when he was there, and so this signature is holding up a lot better than this one from 2012. You can see that one's kind of faded, but yeah, the only other pair that I have are these End of the Road sticks, and these are by far my favorite. The black sticks with the silver foil. I know yours are gold, but these are the first pair of sticks that were being sold in the very first leg.
Yep, there's a silver.
Got these at the Louisville show, or was it Louisville? Where did I get these? No, it might have been Indianapolis actually. Indianapolis in August, so maybe the second leg of the tour, but. Either way, yeah, these are just fantastic. Love the finish on those. I think I like these more than the all gold because there was like for the New York shows, there was like all gold drumsticks.
Yeah.
And those were cool, but for some reason, all black with the white foil or silver foil is just tasty. What you got there?
So I have the matching pair. A friend of mine, the same buddy that made that COVID mask holder, made me a stick holder. So I do have the autograph sleeve, but this is one of them. So this is the Cobo Hall stick.
Heck yeah, from 09?
From 09, yeah. So this is really cool. Getting to be at Cobo Hall was a bucket list, and seeing the last show there. My wife had to do some wheeling dealing with the lady in front of us because we could pay for credit cards for everything else but these sticks. So there was a lady, and this was cash only for the sticks. I have no idea why. Or maybe it was the program. One of the two. It was something odd. I want to say it was the sticks. So the lady in front of us, my wife's like, "Are you planning on buying something?" And the lady was kind of like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'll pay for it on card if you're paying in cash," because we didn't bring cash. All we had was the card. So yeah,
right, okay.
That, and then Eric's very first production stick with Kiss. So this is what he would have used on the Revenge tour when he went with Zildjian.
Oh, that's sweet, stick. Dude.
So he was using Pro Mark. Real quick.
Wow.
Tornado.
Tornado siren?
Like one of those. This is a test sound.
Oh, the
yeah.
Gotcha, for sure.
Okay. Tornado warning.
Oh, that's not good. That means there's one out there.
Yeah. So may want to do a little editing there.
For sure. Well, I don't know. I might keep it in. That's
there.
Fun. You go. Rob's and tornado.
I am powering
away.
Through. So in the debris field, I'm going to be looking for this stick. Where did that stick go?
Oh my gosh! No,
so yeah, I've got the sleeve signed, and that was kind of cool. That all of those sleeves in Detroit were all signed. And normally, when you buy the sticks, you just get that black sleeve or whatever that's not signed.
Right. But, okay, I have a question because you said that you were at Cobo Hall in 09, right? So
yes,
I heard that show. What happened? It was like one of the loudest Kiss shows ever.
Finley's kind of the bottom one. Keep going.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Are you gonna live?
We're gonna live. It's going north. It's going north of us. I'm gonna live to win. So it's all right.
Sweet. There you go. No, but so going back to Cobo Hall 09. So I think I read somewhere that was like one of the loudest concerts ever. That it caused a bunch of like people to call the police as far as like a loud noise complaint. Have you heard any of this?
Mm-mm.
No,
I mean,
was the show louder than usual? Because I mean, I've heard that it was like 100 and some decibels, and it caused like a lot of people in the city to complain.
I remember it was the first time my wife had seen Kiss, which was kind of cool, and she kept going, "Oh, this is loud," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's loud," but I don't know if I was just
I love it loud.
I love it loud. If I was just used to being in a loud concerts, late in more recent years when we've been wearing earplugs and shows. But she's like, well, I don't normally hear bands that are this loud, but a couple times she was like, oh, that's really loud. But as you were talking, I'm like, do I remember that? Or I don't think so. What I do remember from that show is Paul said they were filming that night to be released for a commemorative DVD that never ever came out. The only thing that ever came out from that show was the modern day Delilah video.
Okay, gotcha. I think I was mistaken. It says that Kiss hit 136 decibels in '09 in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
So it wasn't Cobo Hall like I thought, but 136 decibels, you're going deaf.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That's gonna blow some wind. I can't even believe Kiss did that. It's kind of crazy to think about current Kiss playing at 136 decibels. That is redonkulous. But anyway, no, sorry, I thought that was Cobo Hall. But still, really cool really cool of you to show that.
Not to like diverge, depending if you're editing any of our tornado
No,
warnings and stuff out.
go ahead.
Can you hear the siren going off?
Oh yeah, if I pause really quietly and listen, there is a siren going off. Yeah.
And as a Kiss fan, I'm hearing the firehouse. Sorry.
Breathe fire. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's great. That's funny. Well, hopefully you're staying safe over there. Don't let me know if you need to go hide in the basement or something.
If I tear out of here with the snare drum, there's a big problem.
Grabbing the snare drum, exactly. The snare drum and that cardboard cutout. All right, Eric, here we go.
Come on, honey, you can fit in here too.
Yeah, there you go. All right, sweetie, I got room for you too. That's hilarious. I tell you what, I'm going to keep showing some stuff too, because I'm surprised I didn't show this earlier, because we were talking about Eric Singer on the farewell tour, and I happen to have this little insert for the tour book. And for the Japanese Australian tour book inserts, there was this page inserted for Eric Singer. And Eric wrote, of course, it's not written on there, it's printed. But it says, "It's an honor to be back for the final farewells. I dedicate these shows to all of you and the Catman. Peace, Eric Singer." And so is this the image that you saw for the first time of Eric in his makeup? This is the one?
That was the one.
And Paul did his makeup here, right?
Yep,
for sure. So I don't have a farewell tour book, but I do have this tour book insert of Eric Singer. So I wanted to bring that out.
I hate doing this on your show going, I have something. It's out of reach, but I'm going to have to get up and go get it. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. The tour book is buried. I do have the tour book with that insert in it, but I'm going to pull this out because I have another version of that tour book that is so stinking cool. So I don't want to ruin
Oh, no way. Show it. Oh, no way. Is this the mini version?
So this is the Japanese version of Off the Soundboard. They included a miniaturized version of the tour book. Now, so awesome. the normal tour book has a die cut of Kiss up here. So in the flames, when you open it up, you can kind of see that it's still kind of showing there. But this is a 1-to-1 reproduction. So if you go all the way to the back, you get the Eric Singer insert.
That is, oh my gosh, that is top notch. That is top notch. I gotta get me one of those.
And I kept thinking, I will buy every version of the Japanese release of Off the Soundboard. Can you imagine if they had done a mini reproduction of every single tour book?
Oh my gosh.
I'm so cool.
Dude, they should do that. That'd be awesome.
What a cool keepsake when everybody was like, oh, these are kind of boring. There's nothing into it. To get the tour book in there. I mean, you could read everything. All of the actual pictures that are in the tour book are all, they're all in there.
I need to actually go and sell mine and then go buy one from Japan because I bought the regular brown cardboard, boring American release with no miniature tour book. And when I heard that they were doing that for the Japanese, I thought that is fantastic. But I don't know if I remembered or forgot or even knew that they were doing the Eric Singer insert. Holy crap.
Yeah, and I didn't think like, oh, they're not going to do the insert, but I was like, well, technically this is the show. I feel like the Seinfeld quote, this is the show, you know, this is the one we're doing it for. So yeah, that's of all like some of the funny Kiss collectibles that I have, that's a great one to go, oh, I got a tour book for you. Check this out.
Check out my miniature farewell tour book with the Eric Singer insert. My gosh, leave it to the Japanese to do some awesome stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, I do have one other thing before the final thing, if that makes any sense. But I did show this last time, and I'm sorry, but I got to show it again. It's Eric's birthday. I do have this little invitation that was given to folks for Eric's 60th birthday. No, I was not invited, but they did sell these for like $5 at his table the day afterwards at the Indie Expo when he was doing his appearance, doing signings and everything like that. But it says, Eric hits 60, Saturday, May 12th, 2018. Please join us as we celebrate Eric Singer's birthday. It's a surprise. So this was a surprise party.
Oh, that's
for
cool.
Eric. And I'm pretty sure Ace was there. This was the year that Ace and Freely's Comet reunited.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Bruce and Bob were there. So I think Ace Freely ended up showing up, but I'm not sure who else was all there. But even though I wasn't, I still wanted to get this because it's one of those things that you're just never going to see this ever again. And to have a birthday invite from Eric, and that actually is a live autograph. I bought it from him for $5, and he signed it for free. Kind of like if you buy the sticks, $25, he'll sign it for free. Buy a drum head, sign it for free. So that was always my thing. Whatever Eric has, I'm going to buy from him and get it autographed. So as you can see, I have like a little Eric Singer collection going on. But anyway, I want to get to our last thing now, which we were talking about before the show. So I think I started this with you on the show accidentally the last time you were on. Back in episode 88, I ended up showing something from 88 and said, you know what, I'm just going to keep every episode. I'm just going to show something from that same episode number, and we'll just call it Kiss Merch of the Year. And so we're up to 97 now. And this, I did not plan this. This is not planned, but this is just how these things work out. It is episode 97. I got to show something from 97. This is an Eric Singer related episode. And so I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. And no, it's not anything crazy. And I'm not sure how well it's going to translate to camera. But this is, so you can't even see it. So this is a Kiss Carnival of Souls in-store promo sticker. Have you ever seen this or anything like this before?
I have one in my vinyl. Like,
do you really?
Yeah, I bought it
awesome
2 years ago, and I thought, no way, that's real. And it came.
Where did you get yours from?
I got mine off of eBay.
Wow, for sure. Okay, I got mine off of I think it was Kiss Army Warehouse.
Yeah, I saw it about a year after I bought it. So I thought about getting another one of those because I think mine was actually in a window.
Okay, for sure. So this one, you can tell is unused, but I bought it because again, it's Carnival of Souls, but I've never seen anything promo anything for Carnival of Souls, and this one you can tell is unused. I can't help but think that maybe if the store had actually used it, they would have sold some copies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how many more of these are out there, but I thought this was a neat, nifty little item, and so. That's what I wanted to show from 97. So, Rob, do you have anything to show us from 97?
I do. And before we were rolling, I was like, what do I got from 97? I almost pulled out my Carnival of Souls. I don't know if I would have pulled out the right version that would have had the window cling. And if I'd even remembered that I had put the window cling in there until you saw that.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just sitting here like looking back at all my stuff going, what's 97 do I have that's like not Carnival of Souls? And all of a sudden this light went off and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's this. So I was a devastated fan during the reunion. As much as I was excited that Ace and Peter were back, my version of Kiss was ending.
Yeah.
So my eye was on Bruce and Eric. Are they going to put together a band? There was a website. I think it's now defunct. It has to be now. It used to be called 495. The 495 is a freeway out in California that Bruce and Eric would drive. I think it's a famous freeway.
Oh, okay.
So on Bruce's Audio Dog album, I think as a bonus track or disc, there's a song called 495. During the 96 tour, Bruce and Eric were doing convention tours in like Australia. So they were doing this song called 495. It's just an instrumental song between Bruce and Eric. It's really cool. You can hear Brett Fitz play it, but I wish Eric had recorded an actual version of it. So I thought you can see different versions of Eric and Bruce playing it on YouTube still to this day.
Huh.
But I go, okay, so they've got this thing. And I bought the Audio Dog album hoping that was Eric, and it wasn't. So in 97, I was like, are they going to record anything? Are they going to do anything? Bruce and Eric did record something together as part of a Queen tribute album called Dragon Attack. This came out in 97. And on the track, let's see here. The song called Save Me, lead vocals are by Jeff Scott Soto. Let me get this correct here. Jeff Scott Soto's doing lead vocals, Bruce Kulick lead guitar, bass is Michael Sherwood. I'm not sure who that is. I'm sorry. Bass is Ricky Phillips. I'm not sure. Oh, the piano's Michael Sherwood, and drums by Eric Singer.
Wow. I swear, every time I talk to you about Eric Singer, I'm always learning something new. In this episode, I've learned quite a few things. I feel like that is fantastic.
So this was the first thing that Eric and Bruce recorded outside of, or no longer being members of Kiss. So I wasn't familiar with the song Save Me. It's a ballad. It's very straight. There's nothing crazy in it, but I remember going, oh, I found something that Eric Singer had done. And I think there were sessions for a lot of different bands that people would go in the studio like, okay, here's the Aerosmith tribute. Here's the Metallica tribute. Here's the Ozzy tribute. So I think this was in those sessions where Bruce and Eric were kind of doing some like gigs for hire type thing to, get paid a little bit till they figured out. And then, a couple years later, Bruce would come out with Union and Eric would be back in Alice Cooper. But this is the first official thing that Eric Singer was a part of outside of Kiss.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you so much for I had never seen that. Now that 495 thing you said, that was an original instrumental that they made together?
Yeah, they made that together when they did their Unholy Down Under tour of Australia and then different conventions. And I think
it's on Eric's DVD, isn't it? Is that what that is?
That might no, because I think on the DVD he's playing to Kiss songs.
Well, yeah, there's the Kiss medley, but I think there's something called 495 that I never knew what that was.
Okay, then
until just now.
Yeah. So if that has to be on there.
I just learned something else. Damn it. Oh my gosh, Rob, you're dropping so much knowledge on me tonight.
So 495 was originally written by Eric and Bruce, probably more Bruce and then Eric, but there's spots where they're both trading off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's on All Access to Drumming, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I just never knew what that was in terms of context. So you just shine a light on that. Thank you so much. Freaking awesome, man. Well, I tell you what, everybody watching, if you're having as much as a good time as I am, please like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching this video. Rob, man, thank you so much for your time. I love talking with you. I love having you on. You're a fun guest to have. And so I want to give this time to you to tell the folks where they can find you and your show.
You can find us at Right Between the Eyes podcast. We're audio and now video. We're doing video episodes much like this. The video is going to be kind of, I wouldn't say hit or miss. Moving forward, we're going to try and have, there will be a video. Sometimes it may just be a stock image of whatever, because sometimes we may be late in the evening where it's, because we usually record at 10 o'clock at night, and Nico might be like, can we not do the video for this one? So I'm going to import all the audio, but so far this year, all of our videos have been there. So you can find us on YouTube. We're primarily an audio podcast, bi-weekly-ish. It's been a little lacking lately, but you can find us on Twitter or X at RBTE. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and then YouTube. So We've got a video coming up here next week. The vinyl tag is coming, and then the collectibles tag is right behind it. So hopefully we'll have some content on YouTube coming up very shortly.
I'm loving the video episodes, man. The last two have been great, talking about the first album and then also, the Sale to Pop House. You guys are great. So highly recommend everybody to go check out the RBTE podcast. And Rob, again, thank you so much for joining me and showing us Eric Singer stuff and dropping a lot of knowledge. I'm sure we'll have you back on very soon.
Well, we will have to return the favor.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, anytime, man. I would love that. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow Kiss Army Things on Facebook and Instagram. And hey, we just got a Patreon. So if you guys are wanting some more Kiss content, some more content from Kiss Army Things, check out our Patreon. We got a couple people over there. But as soon as we start getting more patrons, we're going to be doing live videos. We're going to be doing extended videos, special videos that won't even be on YouTube at all. But there will always be videos here on YouTube. But just for anybody because we've been getting some, people saying, hey, you should do this, you should do that, and I'm like, hey, if I had the time to do it, I will absolutely do it. So anybody who wants to join us there, please do. If not, we'll be right here on YouTube with awesome folks like Rob. So peace out, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Episode 97. I'll see you in 98. My name is Xander.
My name is Rob.
Peace out, Kiss Army.